So we've come somewhere really special today. It's called Tangmere. It's a military and aviation museum with lots of interesting things. So I'm sure we're going to be absolutely fascinated by this.
Who have you got to find? Who we're going to go and find now?
The bear.
Going to find the bears.
Bear hunt, aren't we?
Here's something interesting. This is Reginald Mitchell. And Reginald Mitchell was a Stoke-on-Trent lad. In fact, he went to Hanley High School, which is where I went to do my 11th plus. And he invented the Spitfire.
Hold the bear one.
See, this is what you're aiming at.
This is actually a replica of the Supermarine Spitfire. It's a prototype, and it was a fighter plane with a Rolls-Royce engine, Merlin 12-cylinder. Here is the Rolls-Royce Merlin 20. Nice model there of a Hurricane. As a boy, I used to have a model Hurricane that actually flew. And here's a big one. This is another replica of a Hawker Hurricane. And just behind there, very classic, the Avro Lancaster. Looking up, we've got some models up above, really lots of them. Have a cockpit experience here where you actually get into the cockpit. Lots of models. This is one of the things I was looking at to try and see in Palma, but I actually missed the exhibition of all the models. So I do find these quite fascinating. I suppose as a young lad I used to make models of aeroplanes like this, paint them. This is a Gloucester Meteor F4 Special. And its role was to make the world airspeed record on the 7th of September 1946, 616 miles per hour. It was piloted by Group Captain E.M. Donaldson. Hawker Hunter. Well, we've just been to Westland, we've just been to Yeovil where Westland is based. This is the Westland Lysander Mark III Special Duties aircraft.
From now on, the place will be stiff with guards. It's maddening we've got to bring the RAF into it.
As requested, the
Supermarine Swift. What's going on here? Hawker Hunter. This is the F4 cockpit. We've got William in there.
God, you can see William, can you?
This is the English Electric Canberra. It's the nose cone there.
Yes.
So that's what it would have looked like, and that's just the nose cone there. It's the old radio there, complete with the valves. The this is the model of the Hawker Tomtit. This model is actually displayed inside. This part here is the sliding part of the canopy over there. This is part of a de Havilland Chipmunk. There's one where you can actually get into the cockpit and you can see all of the dials there.
Do you want to sit on that?
I don't think I'd get out of it if I managed to get in.
Okay, all right.
Thank you very much. Do like all of these models. Flight Lieutenant Harry Irving. This is a Hawker Hunter Mark F5. It's an interceptor and ground attack fighter. Impressive machines, aren't they? This has got an Armstrong Siddeley Sapphire turbojet. 30mm cannon. That's what the rounds look like.
I think Steve's in his element now.
More models down here. And here's one of our favourites. It's the Harrier. This is a model of the Harrier GR Mark 7. It was actually presented by Vice Marshal Ray Locke, who's the Commandant Joint Services Command and Staff College at Shrivenham. And there's the fin from English Electric Lightning. Quite amazing how big these things are. You come to stand by them, they're huge. I think this was one when I was a boy. This was one of the aeroplanes I used to really admire.
Basically F6s with additional air-to-ground capability in the form of rocket pods or bombs on underwing pylons. The Saudi infantry saw brief action in December 1960.
It's got this characteristic front. A supersonic all-weather interceptor fighter.
This was the only occasion Lightnings fired shots in anger.
This particular one entered service with the Royal Saudi Air Force in November 1968 until January of 1986. The aircraft is currently displayed as a Lightning F6 of number 23 Squadron of the Royal Air Force.
The most common Russian bomber intercepted is the Tupolev Tu-95 on airborne surveillance missions. During interceptions, their tail gunners typically get their twin cannon pointed upwards as a sign of not being hostile, or wave copies of Playboy magazine. During night interceptions, though, they were also known to shine powerful floodlights into the cockpit of the Lightning to destroy the pilot's night vision. RAF interceptors were instructed not to lock onto the bear with fire control radars, as it would give away information about the radar to the zombie on the main mission.
Not sure how a video of a video comes out.
The Lightning Force, 216 built for RAF, began to reduce in 1974 with the delivery of the first Anglo-French Jaguars, freeing the RAF's Luftwaffe Douglas Phantoms for air defence. By 1977, only 5 of the 11 Lightning squadrons remained operational, and by this time, the natural metal finish of the Lightnings had mostly disappeared, replaced by grey-green upper surfaces for camouflage at low level, although some aircraft were later camouflaged in shades of grey to make them less conspicuous and adaptable. The RAF announced that the Lightning was in
And this apparently is the pen that launched the Desert Storm. So this pen was presented to the museum by Air Chief Marshal Sir Patrick Hine, who was Supreme Commander of the British Forces in Operation Desert Storm, used it to sign the squadron operation orders. That's a Parker pen. So here are some of the things, Morse code key there, Morse code.
Following the outbreak of war 2 years later, Verity served initially coastal flying out Baleares. After serving
They used plastic discs like records for recording early messages.
This night flying experience was to serve him well later. His flight commander at Westmoreland was Vixen, later to achieve fame as the leader of the day. People of Western Europe. The landing was late this morning on the coast track.
As we came in, the lady was telling us that people come from all over the world to visit this particular museum. I'm guessing because they have either some history themselves, some personal history, or some family history. And this is, well, the then Prince Charles, now King Charles. This was August 1969. Nice gramophone. So two of these models of Manfred von Richthofen's Fokker DR-1 triplane. Is he the Red Baron? I remember teaching a girl years ago, and the Red Baron was actually her grandfather.
Sergeant in April 1915, McCollum was listed officially as an observer in July, and in January 1916 received a French Croix de Guerre from General Joffre, Commander-in-Chief of the French Army. In early 1916, he was promoted to Flight Sergeant and returned to England to learn to fly the Royal Aircraft Park Farnborough, where he made his brevet flight in a Farman Longhorn on the 16th of April 1916.
This is what the RFC Squadron Commander's office would have looked like in the day. These walking sticks are displayed here are made from parts of World War I crashed or damaged aircraft. The walking sticks furthest on the left is made of wood from a crashed German Zeppelin, and the one furthest on the right was owned by the pilot of the RFC, who recorded his victories by notching up his score. There's 9 in total of them, and the stem of his pipe is there. So Gloucester, Gamecock Mark 1, and that was in RAF service from May 1926 to 1931, June 1931. And just in this corner here we've got some really quite beautiful paintings. Bomber Command, 1939 to 1945. Of course, there were lots of women involved in the war, Second World War, and here's a whole set of display in their memory. And this is actually a list of signatures of famous female pilots. These are ATA pilots. One of the most famous of all of the raids. This is the Guy Gibson and the dam busters raid, where they dropped these bouncing bombs, and the bombs blew up the dams, and the dams then flooded the valleys down below, but also meant that they couldn't produce the hydroelectricity and destroyed whatever was down below them. Different wirelesses.
I've seen a camera like that before.
And got a little gift shop here, so if you want to buy some of those models I was talking about earlier on that I must have built as a child, they're the Airfix models. I wonder if the boys would be interested in any of those.
No, you don't have to do that. As long as I've got that.
And some of the wooden ones, I quite like these wooden ones.
One you wouldn't like, that's with gift aid, that's without.
So here's some of the squadrons that were based at Tangmere during the war, and there were lots and lots of them.
Don't do that. Right.
So this room's a little bit darkened because some of the things in here will deteriorate with light, so they limit the amount of light in here. So video quality might not be so good. We need to protect these for the future. Some Perspex models there, they're going to be very difficult to see, but these Perspex models were made from crashed enemy aircraft.
We're allowed to stand here and watch it. Yeah.
Hopefully, it's the way they get shit.
There is lots and lots of reading here. I'm not going to have time to go through all of that. And a simulator here, which the young ones can have a go on.
If you push the button, and you see the kids and things are under the table.
So yes, we had an air raid warning. Children have to go under the table to...
Bomb-proof kitchen table.
I remember my grandmother having a really heavy kitchen table, and I guess that was what it was for.
Probably was, yeah.
I used to play underneath there.
Yeah. Go on then, Hitler, do your worst.
So down below,
The doodlebug is coming.
Where's my daddy? Where's Daddy?
He's works at the Old Place Farm Station.
all the typical things you'd find in a home during the war,
First solo was your first.
including the knitting patterns. Nita wants some of those, I'm sure. Parachute silk. Ladies could make some really fancy garments out of that.
It wasn't just that. No, it wasn't just that. That was part.
So the remains of a Rolls-Royce Merlin 3. As the life and death of Sergeant Dennis Noble was recreated and remembered here. just how these things were constructed out of wood, largely. Parts of the uniform, coins, his badge, and his parachute. Interesting to me, this is a photography section, the sort of cameras and projectors that were used by the RAF. With really big wide lenses to get the best out of the light that was available on some of them. There's a really big wide lens there. And there we are, we've got them all lit up. Just come down here. It's an RAF fighter pilot's headgear from 1940.
Same as that one over there. It's got to be different.
In the corner there we've got the Hurricane gun button.
You see on the front coat?
Group Captain Frank Carey's scarf. And his dress cap. Some Germans here. And a little RAF there with all the writing in German. So you can compare the differences between the RAF and the German Luftwaffe. This is a crocodile skin briefcase that belonged to Adolf Galland. Definitely worth a visit. Come and have a look. Lots of interesting thing here. We've got some Luftwaffe uniforms. Even an Iron Cross. And their flying boots. Referred to as a gravity knife. Armband compass. German Walther PPK pistol, 7.65 caliber, used from 1935 to the present. That's quite impressive. And yet another Iron Cross. That one's a second class. I seem to remember one of my friends at school used to have a, I think it was more of a dagger. It wasn't quite as big as this one, as long as this one, but this one's the Luftwaffe dagger. There.
Hello, 43 Squadron. Yeah, repeat that please. How many? How many? Right. Squadron, scramble. Hey, there's 30 ME-109s and some Stukas over the other way. Take off and head due west.
It's the Padre. So they've got an aircraft simulator here, and Charlie's going to be flying us off. Just learning the controls. I hope he's a quick learner because I don't want any crash landings.
Now, you do 4 things in the left hand. Okay?
Ollie's already had a go of this and managed to land the craft, so that's really good. It's a Lightning, so it's a really fast aeroplane. And you can see the screen, that's where he's looking at on the front. Cockpit view, see what he's going to have a look at.
Today, they used to come back to Lossiemouth and Lucas on one engine because they didn't have fuel.
It's the runway.
So, you know, we were very, very limited.
So we come outside now. It's very, very windy. Really interesting inside, but there's more stuff outside as well. So still things to look at. And we could have looked at these before we came in. So this is a Phantom FGR2. You see them in the sky, they don't look so big. This is really quite huge.
I'll give you more.
Let me come past.
As well.
Excuse me.
Have that.
Oof. Wind's blowing now. Here's a Harrier. This is the GR3 model. And we've got a Westland Wessex helicopter. Royal Navy. And we've got another Harrier here. This is a Sea Harrier FA2.
Wow. It's quite cool. It's quite cool.
Wow, is that what you have?
Yes, look. I can't believe that. I know, let's fit it.
This is actually a Sea Vixen de Havilland. So really a nice display outside as well. Looks like they've got a model that's been shipped in over there. Whoa. Well, it's time for us to go, and we're going to get blown away if we don't actually leave now. It's so very windy, and there must be a few spots of rain. So thanks very much for watching. Look forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye for now. That might have even been snow.